Wallahi, time goes so much faster than what we think it really goes by. It literally feels like yesterday when I made my first video on like the second or third day of Ramadan. We're already at the 16th day, the day that I'm recording this, which is past half of Ramadan. And it feels like yesterday when I fasted for my first day ever as a Muslim, around 2 years ago. Subhanallah, time just moves so much faster than we think it really moves by. Things that we think are so distant from us, like getting a certain job or having to get married at some point, seeing old age as so distant from us, death as being really distant from us. But as soon as those things come knocking on the door, are in front of you, that's exactly when you look at those things and you ask yourself, wow, has all this time really gone by and it feels like only part of a day has gone or only a day has gone by? And why am I mentioning this? I'm mentioning this because Allah Azza wa Jal will mention, or at least mentions, in the Quran, in Surah Mu'minun between verse 112 and 114, that He will ask us on the Day of Judgment, how long have you stayed on this earth? And we will say, oh, we only stayed a day or part of a day. Ask those who enumerate or who kept count, right? And Allah will say, you only stayed a little time if only you knew. If only you knew is so powerful because we don't understand that even if you were to live up to 90 years old, even if you were to live up to 100, 110 years old, even if you were to live up to the ages that the people at the time of Nuh alayhi salam would live up to, hundreds and hundreds of years, that's what we're talking about, it's still nothing compared to the akhirah. It's nothing. It really is nothing. Even 1,000 years is a little time if only we knew. So how can 80, 70 years of average expectancy of life, right, be a long time when we've got the akhirah that will be literally infinite? It won't stop, right? This is what I understood, and it was this clip from Mohammed Hoblos that really hit me, and I was like, wait a second, this is interesting, not just because it makes sense for Ramadan, but it makes sense for the dunya, for the life in general. And he mentions this, that when Ramadan comes by, it's a time in which you should put your head down and work as much as you can. Just work, 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 until the day of Eid comes, and that's when you put your head up. That's when you stop working, and you're like, okay, time to catch a break now. Right? And I couldn't agree with this more. But the most interesting part is this, that while we work our best during Ramadan, we try our best to connect to Allah Azza wa Jal, to do as many good deeds as possible, to seek forgiveness from Allah Azza wa Jal. As soon as Ramadan is over, just like I mentioned at the start of the video, we think, it's already over, like it's gone. Like, is another Ramadan already gone by so fast? Like, subhanAllah, it's amazing how much time goes by so fast. It literally feels like, I'll be honest, although I know it wasn't yesterday, of course I know this, it doesn't feel like a long time ago when I was like in primary school. It really doesn't. I'll be honest, looking back at all the time, all the years from today to my last day in primary school, of course there's years in there, right? But now looking back, it literally feels as if, I'll be honest, as if only a day or part of a day has gone by. Although I know that in reality, there's been years in between, right? It feels as if it was only part of a day or only a day. Why am I mentioning you this? And I hope I can motivate you, inshallah, to do some good today and for the rest of Ramadan, and inshallah, even after Ramadan, because this video isn't just about Ramadan. This video is about the dunya as a whole. This dunya is literally a sprint. You know the 100-meter races? that you see on the Olympics, where you see, I don't know how many people, think 8 or 6 people running, or 10 people, I can't remember, running 100 meters as fast as they can. And it takes them just 10 seconds to complete, right? In the moment that they're running that race, right, that they're running those 100 meters, they can't wait for that race to be over. And it feels that seconds feel like hours while they're running, right? But as soon as the race is over, that's when they realize, damn, it's already over. Like, I prepared years and years and years of my life for a 10-second race. Not that it doesn't mean anything, but what I'm trying to say is, once the thing that you've been preparing for comes to pass, or once something that you really love goes away, or isn't with you anymore, whether it be a person or something, once that thing is not with you anymore, the time you've spent with that particular thing or particular someone will feel as if it was nothing. It will feel as if you've passed no time with that person. It will feel as if you passed no time in that place or with that particular thing that you got. I don't know what it might be, I'm just generalizing, right? This dunya, in my opinion, is exactly the same. It's a sprint race. It's a 100-meter sprint race that by the time it's over, by the time death comes and we die and we go back to Allah Azza wa Jal, two things are going to happen. We're either going to ask Allah Azza wa Jal to make the Day of Judgment come by as fast as possible, because Allah Azza wa Jal has showed us in the barzakh what will happen to us and what's waiting for us in the akhirah, or we will be amongst the regretful ones that on the Day of Judgment will say Rabbi irji'un, which is one of the last verses of Surah Al-Mu'minun, which means, my Lord, send me back. That is the scariest thing ever. Wallahi, when I heard it the first time, it really shook me, because I'm pretty sure still in Surah Al-Mu'minun it's mentioned this. If I'm mistaken, may Allah Azza wa Jal forgive me. But I'm pretty certain about this, that the people who will say Rabbi irji'un, which are those who will die upon disbelief, right? Those who will not be amongst the successful ones, will also say, oh, I wish death was the end. I wish that death was the actual end of life. And I wish that none of this was actually true. Subhanallah, once our life is over, inshallah, we will be able to realize how much time we could have used to do good. But I really hope, and I ask Allah Azza wa Jal to make us amongst, me and you who's watching the video, everyone who's watching the video, to make us amongst those who will be amongst the successful ones and who will not be regretful on the Day of Judgment. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. Because to come on the Day of Judgment and being regretful is the worst thing ever. Because there's no turning back. There's no second chance. There's no forgiving. It's over. It's over with it. You have one life to use to your advantage, to do good, to try to connect to Allah Azza wa Jal, to stay away from sin, and if you do sin, to repent. Take advantage of every single moment you have in this life to do good, to worship Allah Azza wa Jal, because that's the purpose behind why you were created. You were not created to scroll on your phone all day. You were not created to look at women all day on your phone. You were not created to waste time going with your friends and getting drunk or taking drugs or whatever it may be. You haven't been created to waste your time. You have been created to worship Allah Azza wa Jal. That doesn't mean that every single second that you spend, you need to do, oh, I need to do this. Oh, finish this. Great, let's go. Need to run to the next thing. I mean, if we had the energy to actually be able to do this, then of course, it would be great if we could act this way, but we're humans, we can't act this way, otherwise we'd get burnt out. But free time, using your time wisely to re-energize yourself, to take a rest, doesn't mean you have to watch useless videos on YouTube. It doesn't mean that you have to go waste time and hang around with friends that don't bring any value to your life, right? Especially in the month of Ramadan. It means doing activities that get you closer to Allah Azza wa Jal. For me, as I said in the previous video last week, getting out in nature. Even though I'm not doing anything practical, it gets me closer to Allah Azza wa Jal. I appreciate the sounds of the river right beside me, although it's completely dirty, I'll be honest. The sounds are just incredible. The birds, the wind hitting the leaves, and they make like a weird sound, which is very nice. The wind hitting myself as well, that is really soothing, like everything. When I come here, it helps me get connected to Allah Azza wa Jalla, and that's a great way to use your free time wisely to re-energize yourself, right? So use your free time wisely. Please don't waste a second. Don't waste a second, because death might be tomorrow. You're always going to die sooner than what you expect. And that's a fact. That's a fact. You're always going to die before you think you're really going to die. Sooner than what you think. Younger than what you think. We always think we're going to live longer than what we will actually live, right? And once you realize this, you need to understand there's no time to waste. The race has already started. It's a competition, but not between all of us. It's a competition between yourself, to better yourself every single day, because there's no point in comparing yourself with someone else. They're completely different to you. They have a completely different story and journey, genetics, whatever it may be, right? Compete against yourself every day and try to better yourself every single day. And if you don't better yourself the next day, then learn from those mistakes and better yourself the next day again. And if you still didn't better yourself, then use the next day as another chance to better yourself, right? Because tomorrow isn't guaranteed. I'm recording this at around 2 p.m. here in Milan. It's not guaranteed that I may be able to go back up and post this video. If you're watching this video, Allah Azza wa Jal allowed me to post this video. He's the one that allowed me to get back home safely, right? And gave me enough time to be able to post this video, right? But I may not be able to make it to this evening, right? To this night. I may go to bed and may not wake up. It may sound very horrible and dramatic, but it's reality. That's the whole point of it. It's the worst case scenario that you need to take into consideration, because once you take it and you're prepared for it, if it was to happen, if it does happen and Allah Azza wa Jal allows this worst case scenario to happen, at least you are prepared for it. Don't ignore that worst case scenario simply because you don't like the sound of it, or you think that you need to be a positive person. Don't, please don't. Realize, please, realize there's no time to waste. Go now, if you're watching this video. I've seen that around 50% of people that watch my videos, right, are people who watch them on their phones or tablets, whatever it may be. Please, once you've watched this video, go do something useful. Go help your mother, go help your father, go read the Quran and ponder upon it. You can also read the tafsir, because it helps. If you don't want to do any of that, at least watch a beneficial video. Learn about Islam on YouTube. Don't watch useless videos, although I'm guilty of it. I'm not perfect in any way. Don't think, by the way, that because I'm telling you these things, that I don't do the things that I'm telling you not to do. Absolutely not the case. I'm doing this because I'm trying to motivate you to take advantage of the time you have, because I know that I'm not doing it. I'm not doing enough, and you're not doing it enough either. So please trust me, do something useful. Go do something for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal, because by the time you're dead, you're going to realize that, wow, if only I could have used that time for a better cause. If only instead of watching all those shorts or reels, I was helping my mother when she asked me for help, or my father for help. That's basically it. I hope I've motivated you enough, and please, you need to realize that this life will go by so fast. It's literally a sprint race. It starts when you're born and it ends when you die. There's no time to waste. And when you are in a race, you know that there's no time for stopping. Once you start the race, you need to get to the end, and you can't just stop and take a break. You need to keep going. The same thing is with this dunya, with this life. And I can't stress this enough. So may Allah Azza wa Jal make us amongst those who will take advantage of their time and not be lazy with it. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. And upon this, I'd like to say that this Ramadan, I've mentioned it already, I'm teaming up with SEMA organization to collect funds for the Syrian detainees, the Syrian survivors of the horrible prisons. The Dunya prison, which was one of the worst, if not the worst prison in Syria, where prisoners got arrested for absolutely no reason. There's a story of a man, he was arrested for bringing food to his family, stayed there around 11 years, was released, and his daughters were grown up. He had lost his youth. I'm pretty sure some of his parents passed away as well, and he didn't even manage to see them pass away. Subhanallah, it's horrible. He has traumatic damage and also physical damage, and he's just one of the thousands of people that have been released. And inshallah, through your help, even just $1, please click the donation link below. You can actually save these people and help them reconnect with this life, reconnect with Allah Azza wa Jal, and grant them a bit of hope through Allah Azza wa Jal's mercy. And also, if you want to be a part of my community, there's a 7-day free trial down below. You can click on it on JANNAH'S Path. Every week we have a call, both for brothers and sisters, where we discuss topics about Islam. Not teaching you anything. If anything, you're probably going to be teaching me something, because I need to learn Islam. And I'm sure that if you would want to join this community, you'd want to learn about Islam as well. Click the link below to donate, and click the link below as well for JANNAH'S Path. 7-day free trial. You can cancel the subscription before the 7 days are over if you don't like it, but at least you get to test it out and see if you like it. That's about it. Get off your phone. Get off your phone. Do something useful. Please do something useful. Start something for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal. A habit for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal. And that's basically it. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.